Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come. It is October 10th, 2022, the day that I needed to make it to. One of the days I need to make it to. There are other goals and, milestones I need in my life, but this is a major one. The Bleach 1000-Year Blood War Episode 1 has officially dropped, and Bleach is #1 everywhere. It's such a nice feeling seeing one of my favorite animes, my favorite anime actually, in the limelight once again in a way that I am proud to say. I've always been proud to be a Bleach fan, but this specifically, I am very happy to be a Bleach fan because objectively, I think we can all say Episode 1 was a fantastic episode, whether you are a existing Bleach fan or a new Bleach fan. But if you guys do want to watch live with me, I will be streaming every episode on Twitch in the afternoon every Monday. So if you guys do want to, watch live with me, I will tell you it is a much better time than what you're about to see here. Please follow me on Twitch. You're gonna get the extra recaps on YouTube. But let's talk about this episode, man. #1. Should I play the song? Nah, I'm not gonna play the song. It's difficult to execute this episode because you have to think of a couple things, right? There are people who are binging this for the first time and they're not waiting 10 years. And there's people like me who stopped watching in 2012 when the anime ended. Now it's back. And it's like, how do we get both of these group of people back to the same point where then we can move from the same pace from there? And I think they did that really well because you can kind of tell time has passed and they're kind of doing another reintroduction of the main cast. And in the later portions, they talk about everyone else, but I'm doing too much talking. Let's talk about the episode itself. Now, first section, honestly, it's kind of boring. I think Yuabaga is reciting the passage. The confined Quincy Queen regains his powers or his pulse 900 years. You guys have heard this plenty of times, right? 9 days, 9 hours, 9 minutes, 9 seconds. He's coming back. All right, he's coming back for vengeance. But they're down in the R&D place talking about, wow, hollows are disappearing. There's only one group of people who can be doing this. Anyway, not my favorite scene, but this was a nice scene here with the two Shinigamis on a mission to take down some hollows. One guy is super scared. The girl is like, you need to know, man up, can't be scared, and just ditches him anyway. And the funny thing is, actually, I shouldn't say the funny thing, it's actually pretty sad. Eventually he gets chased down by a hollow and he's looking for his partner once again. And I've got to say the hollow look so, ooh, look at that. To me, back in the day watching Bleach, this is what a hollow looked like. And I mean, if this was chasing me down with this music in the background. So he's getting chased down, blah, blah, blah. Everything looks great. I will say, especially what I love in this episode is the detail of the environment, not so much the characters. The characters have pretty good lighting, but the environment around them is very detailed. And the effects of explosion and particles, it's like I'm watching a Final Fantasy game with like HD enabled. But eventually he goes up the steps, and as you can see, he notices his partner is in the grips of another hollow, pretty much dead, drops the sword. I mean, if a swordsman or swordswoman drops their sword, you pretty much know that they're taking the L. And I like how they were playing this guy up. He has to get this confidence to, get vengeance for his partner and just gets clocked to the side. Something that's probably realistic what would actually happen in that situation. But it all happens because the crew has to show up and get a proper introduction. So Orihime is doing her thing of rejecting people, rejecting things as always, but for some reason she can't reject Aizen in his request. But they have this nice splash art for every single person, which once again gives it a nice introduction to everyone and their powers. We got Chad doing Chad things, and this punch here was, God, movie quality, but we do get the skull once again when he punches things. I always thought Chad never got the amount of screen time that he deserved. Ishida flexing as always, gliding on the ground and doing a nice twirl in the air. Thought that was a little too much, but you gotta do some cool stuff here. when you're a Quincy, and then he just lights up the ground. Nice introduction for him. And this is where I was talking about before, like the effects, the flares, the particles, everything just looks so... Y'all see this? Anyway, the only thing I really want to talk about in this next scene here is that, they were, in the room talking, and it kind of just shows you once again how the guys interact with one another, where, they're not just always uptight. They can actually, relax and, just be normal teenagers, adolescent people, young adults talking in a very young adult way. It's not like very scripted. But I do like the transition of, the curtains being closed and then, a guy shows up out of nowhere and it kind of changes the tone of the rest of the entire episode. I just noticed Orihime was opening the door or opening up the window. But, if someone tells you to get off their bed twice and you don't do it, you're going to get kicked in the face. But I thought that was a pretty great scene. And then, Ichigo goes to chase him down. But this is I would say, my second favorite part of the entire episode. And I completely forgot about this part where, they're doing some investigation outside, I guess, Soul Society. Looks great, but it kind of gives you that, extra investigation background, kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not giving you the answers of what is exactly going on, but it's kind of building up that tension. This scene was kind of whatever for me. I want to talk about this because this is something that I don't think a lot of people know about Bleach, but this does happen in a lot of adaptations from manga to anime. But in terms of the manga, Bleach was pretty raw in what it showed, and the anime is heavily, I won't say heavily censored, but it's censored compared to what you read in the manga. And it's nice to see for this anime adaptation, I guess now that the core base of Bleach fans are older. I mean, we could have handled it back then. Like when I was 11, I would have been fine seeing this, but now that we're all older, I think they can kind of understand, like, hey, let's just show these guys everything. And also maybe just animation laws have changed on what they can show. But it's nice to see that they're not holding back on what they are showing for Bleach, because it really does add to the gravity of, what entails of what happens during war. Like, we're not just gonna see people get cuts on their shoulder and then blood starts spewing out. Hate to say it, but heads are getting chopped off. Arms are getting chopped off. People are going to die in very visceral ways. So be prepared for a 1,000-year blood war. Like, blood war is in its name. But regardless, this is my second favorite scene in the entire episode, simply because it makes you, what's the word that I'm looking for? It makes you realize that if the senior captain of everything for 1,000 years is giving some facial expressions of, whoa, what is going on? Like, even he's kind of taken aback and things are just happening instantly, that this is not your run-of-the-mill villains that you've dealt with in the last 300 episodes. Anyway, I'm talking too much. Let's play some parts of this scene here. One of the best things as well is the way these guys talk. I think it might be this guy that's talking. Very direct on what they want to do, and they're just not playing around, right? And I do like the blend between Ichigo fighting this guy and Yamamoto talking to the people that have invaded Soul Society. Ichigo's kind of trying to figure out in his head what is going on, but at the same time, these guys are like explaining what they want to do, so it's almost like two battles are about to happen. But essentially, I can give you the rundown of the scene. They're declaring war. Yamamoto's like, whatever, guys. Like, you're not really that serious. I can probably beat you guys in 2 seconds. Right? I have nothing to fear. I am here. There's no greater security than that. And then, just like that, man, your right-hand man gets crucified on the wall in front of you as soon as you say that. And then it gets serious from there. Because in Soul Society, I mean, minus Renji, because I feel like... Anyway, but lieutenants and captains are pretty high ranking. So if you see a lieutenant getting shafted like this in front of your face in your own barracks, it's like, okay, these guys might be doing stuff. And they're already here. So someone else is doing this out on the streets. But that's pretty much what the scene is. And then they end up disappearing. And then Ichigo's fighting this guy, realizes that his Bankai is about to get taken. It was also really interesting to see the German aspects of this as well. I'm just so happy that it's still Bleach to its core, man. The choir and the soundtracks are great. And like I said before, the effects, fantastic. All right, so this is the last scene that I really like because it showcases Yuha Bak and, you know, his presence of how things go around him. And as you can see, this person is talking to someone else, just like that, his arm is gone. And his brain hasn't even caught up to what has actually happened to him. And the funny thing is, his arm is still floating down, and now he realizes it, and Yuha Bak is just chilling, as if nothing happened. And that just showcases that, you know, when this guy is around, that he is serious. There is no funny business happening. Like, you cannot mess around this guy. You have to be serious at all times, or he will just axe you. Now, the final thing that I love about this entire episode is probably the last 4 minutes. It's the outro. And watching this just makes me so happy because it's basically a recap of the entire anime at different portions. And it just made me realize how much depth Bleach actually had. And it's just, like I said before, it just makes me happy. It was just like this level of calmness I haven't had in many years. And I was just genuinely happy because, I mean, one of my favorite shows of all time that has been getting from everyone, even the publishing company from back in the day, people wanted this to fail. And I was one of the few people that was like, hey, I actually want this to continue. And it's back. And the way that it was executed was fantastic. Like, I don't think I could have asked for a better product. And if this is the level of quality that we're gonna get, I mean, speechless. Like, I don't wanna cry, I'm not going to cry, but like I said before, I'm just happy. That's all I can really say. I'm just happy. I don't know if you guys felt the same way about, you know, you wanted to be hype watching this, going crazy, but when you actually hit play, watched it, and you finally got to the end, you're just like, this is Bleach. Like, this is it. It's just calm, happiness. That's it. But one thing I also want to mention is I don't know if they're going to do this for every single episode, but at the very end of the outro, if Yuha Bak is going to say some type of passage of, you know, foreshadowing of, you know, how he thinks, his theories of his vision of how he wants the world to be, I think that would be pretty cool. I don't think it should just be this one thing in this special episode or the special outro that they have here. I think it would be nice if he gave this passage every single outro. It's like we're getting into the mind of how he has been thinking all these years. But once again, this was a fantastic episode. I'm happy that Bleach is back. I am happy that it was executed in this fashion. I think the soundtrack is fantastic, and just these guys, I cannot wait for the fight to happen. But if you guys do want to watch the live reactions with me and the rest of the guys, I think last time we were hitting around, I think we hit 80 viewers total currently, which is great. But if you guys want to watch with us, please check out the Twitch channel down below. And I am going to try and get partnered if I can. I have to average 75 viewers in a month, I think in like past 30 days. So if we are able to do that, I think it's going to be a pretty good time watching Bleach moving forward. And, you know, maybe I can delve into some different things too, because I'm not caught up on One Piece. I just got to the time skip, and One Piece is definitely a great anime, I will say. I used to bash on One Piece, but I've been watching for the past year, and it's actually a solid anime. But you guys give me your ratings of episode 1. My chat gave it a 10 out of 10. Some people gave it an infinity out of 10. I'm not gonna be that crazy. I'm definitely hyped that Bleach is back, but I don't think this is a 10 out of 10. I gave it an 8 out of 10 because 10 out of 10 would mean that this is like peak Bleach. And I don't think this is peak. I think this is them merely scratching the surface on how the rest of this entire arc is gonna play out. So it's not a 10 out of 10 for me. But if it's a 10 out of 10 for you, please let me know down in the comments below how your reaction was. I'm hoping that episodes from here on out are the same level, if not better. That's when I can give out my 10 out of 10. But I'm really excited for, you know, this core or this segment of the arc to finish so we can get that soundtrack. That's what I really want. The soundtrack is just Bleach to its core. Anyway, guys, hopefully you found this video informative, entertaining. I know informative is my tech outro, so found it informative. Let me know down in the comments below. I appreciate every single sub, like, and comment. Subs really do help out the channel because then I will be able to get a decent sponsor instead of nobody. And as always, guys, I will see you next week on this episode of Bleach. Until next time, have a good one. I don't know why my laptop was on the table, but it was there the whole time.